I generally don't cover videos like these, but come on, the man retired. I watch tennis because of him. I love tennis because of him. I have to cover this video. I have said enough. Let me start the video right away. I hope you enjoy this video, but I mean, let's start. Too much said already.
Roger, we've known each other for a long time, and actually, just before you walked in, I was thinking, is this the last time I'm going to speak to you? Is this the last time I'm going to...
I hope not. I heard that, was it a statement from him or someone else that there was talk of him commentating. He never thought that he would be a commentator, but I think he's considering commentating, especially at Wimbledon. I think something to that effect I heard.
It's going to be an interview between, the two of us for Eurosport. This is quite emotional, not just for you, but also for me. So
the lady, the interviewer, seems like she's about to cry because Roger is retiring or has retired.
Please excuse me if I start crying.
It's okay. We'll get through this somehow. We'll make it.
People are more emotional than him. That's how you know that something has happened. Something big has happened. He has retired. He's not going to play tennis ever, but everyone else...
I've cried plenty. That's why I'm okay now. But I hope it's not going to be our last interview. I'd like to come around to tennis tournaments and see people, see you, and speak and talk tennis. I love it. We'll see how often or when. I have no idea yet, but we'll see. But we'll get through this interview.
Okay, good. Yeah, let's this is our first task here.
Yes.
So you've just done a press conference here at the Laver Cup, and you actually put your retirement.
I heard about the Laver Cup that he's there. I mean, obviously Novak, Rafa, Roger, and Andy, all of them are there. But I heard that he wants to play with Rafa. I think a doubles match and end his career. But let's see.
Into words, how was that? And we have a chance to speak to you right after this. When you've taken that decision in writing, when you let the world know, and now you actually have to put it into words and speak about it. How does that feel for you? Because it's different.
I think it's important for me to go through this because I have too much to say. I have too many people to thank. I want to reconnect with the fans again, who have been the backbone of my career. I've had home court advantage in a way everywhere I went, and I feel that
he's such a well-spoken man off the court. Off the court also, I think that's why he gets such great marketing deals or great brand deals. I mean, the aura is of a gentleman, and the way he presents himself or the way he talks, beautiful. I think everyone can learn or emulate.
That is very unique, and I'm super happy about that and forever thankful. I also, when I announced it, I wanted to have a chance to be around and not just be a ghost, really, announce it and just go about
and
disappear. I mean, it was not easy because I didn't want to fabricate moments as well, and the Laver Cup allowed me to be here, to be around the team, maybe potentially try to play as well. But really also spend time with the guys again, be part of the tennis family, community, and I really hope I can play on Friday. That's my goal.
And have you seen the way he has built Laver Cup over the years? It was just, something that was happening in the beginning, but obviously he was there and he used to bring Rafa and Novak alternate. I think one time Rafa was there, but Novak was not there, and then vice versa happened. And both times, I think he paired up once with Rafa and once with Novak. And it was just incredible for fans to watch. And now I've heard the prices of these tickets, of Laver Cup tickets, have gone through the roof. Such a smart businessman. Like, he's about to retire, he has already established and set up Laver Cup. And such a prominent tournament and set up and on the way, and such a smart businessman. Beautiful.
Bjorn on the bench obviously was also something for me, a dream come true. So I just felt like the right place, the right time to do it. Put a lot of work into the letter and to my words. That really created a lot of stress in my life, but I'm happy that people accepted that message in a more positive way than I ever thought they would.
How long did it take you to write that letter, to put the words on the paper, your thoughts as well, what you want people to know?
25 takes and 2 weeks, and just but at one point when you have a deadline, it's good. You just have to just push send.
Okay, this is good enough.
This is it.
Did you get it double checked by Milka, by
yeah, well,
UA,
of course.
Tony, and
You
everyone?
show it around, and then of course everybody has something to say. And what do you call it? Too many cooks.
Stir
the broth.
the broth,
something like
whatever
like that. So of course you go back and forth.
Zu
and
viele
back and
Köche
forth.
verderben den Brei.
Yeah, genau. So for me, it was emotional, but it was good for me to go through that because it allowed me to look back at my career and think of what I wanted to say, which then has prepared me for interviews as well, which I thought was going to be really, really hard for me to do and very emotional a few weeks and months back, ever since I know about the decision. But
emotional part, I remember him crying when he lost to Rafa, I think Australian Open 2009, that part. And obviously with victories he used to show a lot of emotion. And then 2017 I think he cried, but I remember 2018 Australian Open when he got the winner's trophy and he was standing behind whoever was talking, I think, on the stage, and then he started crying and the camera initially wasn't focused on him, but then it panned to him or focused on him, and he kept on crying and didn't realize probably that the camera was on him and everybody was watching, and then he looked up. I mean, it was a beautiful moment. If you haven't watched, go to 2018 Australian Open ceremony and watch that moment. Beautiful moment.
I think that's why I can sit here actually on a more relaxed, in a more relaxed way.
I just wanted to ask you, so when exactly did that decision happen? Did you just wake up one morning and say, okay, this is it?
How does it work?
Okay, I know it now. How does it work? When did it become final? That the decision. You said a few weeks ago, a few months ago, so
yes,
it's quite some time ago.
You remember seeing Wimbledon probably, which was a tough walk for me to do. Injured, trying to rehab, trying to come back. I don't know. I'm still active, but not having played. But I'm really, really happy I went to Wimbledon, and on court I said, I hope to see you next year, and I really believe that still.
I remember that.
So in the weeks and the days that followed that, I could really feel my knee wasn't doing what it wanted it to do anymore. And this is when I realized I'm at a crossroads now where I have to decide, do I risk it all, or am I just actually happy, And I was very happy. I always said I was on borrowed time. The ice was very thin at that point. Any hiccup I knew could mean the end, and I just decided that was it. And that moment was very emotional.
Such a tough decision to make, right? Such a tough decision to make. Like, you have the ego that is telling you that I've done it so many times in the past and I can do it again, and yet you need to have that caution, that understanding or that level-headedness to look at it and say that no, it won't work. And you are just forgetting all the earnings, the travel, the team meetings, all those things that you will miss. But practical decision, such a difficult thing to decide, especially when you have a lot of injuries.
It was sad for me.
And this is just for Roger. Imagine the players who aren't as well recognized or who aren't earning as much. Look, the kind of anger or anguish that you would feel, that you would have to retire. I mean, you have given 20 years to the sport and you haven't, become, or you probably had few objectives, you haven't achieved them. And it's too much, the pain and the anguish.
Did you know that was probably the last time walking out there on center court deep inside? You didn't know then?
No, I knew it could be, but I still had hopes that I could come back. I'm sure a lot of players were emotional standing there because of the meaning of Wimbledon and the meaning of the game and everything. So
just the players.
Yeah.
No, we were actually.
Exactly. It was beautiful.
So
it was a beautiful celebration. Yeah. That's why I was happy to be there. But when I left the court, I didn't feel like that's for sure it. That's not the reason why I came to Wimbledon. I just felt it was important, my presence and the respect to the club. Yeah.
There's a little story. Let's start reflecting on your career, which I probably never told you. I can't remember if I told you. Now we do go way back. I had the privilege to play alongside you for many years, and there was one point in I think it was '98 or I don't know when you played the juniors at the Australian Open.
98.
98. Yes. There you go. And I was playing doubles with Patty, you
Okay.
know, and she was late to meet me, and then she rocks up like 15 minutes late, and I said, "Where have you been? You know, you're never late." And she said, "I watched this junior called Roger Federer," and I said, "So is
Any
he
good?"
any good?" He said, "Believe it or not," she said, "he plays like Pete Sampras." And I said, "Patty, are you drunk or what? What's wrong with you?" I did not believe her, and there you go. She saw it then, and I just wanted to tell you that story. That
This story is from 1998. Wow, 24 years.
it's a long way.
Yeah.
But
Mirka had a similar situation where she saw me play club tennis, and she saw like, well, this guy, what? He's apparently a new superstar tennis player here in Switzerland. I don't think so. He's behaving too
Everybody was.
bad for that. But I mean, I have a lot of those moments where people
yeah,
saw me play. I was a
you're
a
probably
rough diamond. I was still
Yes, breaking a
things-
few rackets here and there,
things
yelling
were not so
out.
sure yet there.
But if you're reflecting now,
That's such a great thing, right? I don't know how many of you know, but initially when he was playing, 98 to 2000 or 2001 or 2002 even, I mean, I think during that 4-5 year period, he was still breaking rackets, lot of anger and lot of emotional issues on the court. And then I don't know what happened. There is this great documentary by Rolex, I think, which talks about how he matured and he lost his coach who was very close to him, and that brought about this transformation. And then you saw a completely different player, poised, not breaking rackets. So I think obviously he probably did break rackets or got angry a couple of times over the years also. Post that, big change, but it was a huge change. Huge change. I mean, the way he used to get angry and heated, terrible.
now onto your career.
I think that's what adds to his legendary story also. The fact that he said that he was a rough diamond back then.
Now it's been such a successful career. Like what are you most proud of? Like not just only in terms of tennis, but as a human being as well. Because I feel like when you reflect, you don't define yourself just on what success you've had as a person.
I feel like since my announcement, I was expecting the classic, whatever, great career, won a lot of matches, won this, won that. But it was also very much based on who I am, who I was, what I represent for the game, and that I appreciate because I'm very down to earth. I think very try to be as normal as possible, as authentic as possible, and I always try to stay the same way for as long as possible. Not an easy thing to do in the public eye, to be honest, because there's cameras more and more now, and it's hard to escape private moments, But I feel I've managed that part really well, and to stay happy throughout, to be in that public eye. Of course, I was really, really excited again going away from that public eye and just going home and being with my family, being with my friends.
Yeah.
For me, that meant everything, and I needed that balance between then jumping back into the mix and say like, okay, here is Roger Federer, the tennis player again. But the moment I would leave the site or the match or tennis court, I'd be the normal Roger, and I think that's what kept me mentally sane throughout these last 20, 30 years.
Yeah, and that's what I feel like when I look at you, because I like to take, when there's successful people, I like to take that success away. And for example, I take that tennis part away. What's left of the person actually?
Not much.
Yeah, there's a lot of happiness there.
Okay,
yeah,
that's
and
true,
I
I'm
think that's the most important thing, right? That you like yourself, and then you're happy with
And we had a
whatever
good-
comes
and
along.
I think we had a good time doing it. Of course, we lived through years where you win, you leave, you win, you leave, and you keep on traveling. You try to manage best you can, make wrong decisions, right decisions, take different turns along the way. And then all of a sudden, bang.
And just imagine the life of those players who just come, compete, and are out by round one, round two. And even worse for the players who are slightly more recognized, but not at the level of Rafa or Roger or Novak. And they come and they are eliminated by round three or round four. Week after week after week, month after month, year after year for 20 years. It would take such a toll on anyone, and just to be happy through it all. And then obviously at his level, you are winning so much and then you start getting beaten again and again and again. No wonder these guys get paid so much.
you're 25 or something, and you realize, I don't know how much more I have left, you
Yeah.
know, in the game. In '08, when I didn't feel so well at the beginning of the year, I went skiing, and I haven't skied since because I thought I was at the end of my career, you know, potentially in 3, 4, 5 years. So I stopped skiing. Now I haven't skied in
Well,
15,
now we have to
in
go
15
see
years,
with
you
the
know.
ski, with the knee, how it goes with the skiing.
Of course, that's my big wish with the kiddies, you know. But for me, that's the moment when I said I have to start savoring and celebrating victories more. As
Yeah.
small
more
sometimes
conscious about
the
it.
wins are, how big or small the titles are. You never know it's going to be your last. Not that you have to live your life like this, but at least take a split second more, 5 minutes more here, an hour more here, a day more here, a week more here, and just all that, you can then start enjoying the process way more. And I had a wonderful last 10, 15 years of my career.
Is that did that just come up, you know, on your own, that your process of thinking was like that, or did somebody actually tell you stay in the
No.
moment, think about it,
I
you know,
think it
and
was more
enjoy
with,
it?
I think it was really a lot with the team, and especially Mirka,
Yeah.
because no problem when you're young, you know, pack up, go, and organize, bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
You have to do it to make the most of it and ride the wave, you know, of success. But at some point you realize, well, I mean, it's fun, but winning alone is a little empty, you know. You need a little bit more to it. And can we not stay here tonight, have dinner with our friends who were here? Doesn't matter if it was one person who was here or 15, but let's have a nice dinner and let's take the time, and then we leave in the morning. Yes, it's a big compromise of preparation for the next event, but I think it's worth it. And it
Yeah.
was worth it, and I could really feel now, for the last few years, we have made so many wonderful friends around the world, but also stayed in touch with great friends in Switzerland that having been hurt or now retirement doesn't feel so scary, because I know there's going to
Amazing. The way he put his thought across. Beautiful.
be loads of people that we're looking forward to see now.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm not worried about that
Good.
at all.
Thanks.
Let's go back to some tennis moments. You know, you played some amazing matches, and I know it's hard to pick out one. But which match are you the most proud of, and where you feel like you played the best tennis ever? You gotta give me one. I know it's
You know,
difficult.
I just said in the general press conference.
Yeah, I don't want that. I want this is the two of us now.
No, but what I said is I haven't really gone back. So like, okay, let me look through the list and say like, this is the one that gets the star on the
But
side.
you remember
Go through the list. He has so many moments.
everything from
For
your
me, special is the US Open finals against Leighton Hewitt, where I win 6-love, 7-6, 6-love. It doesn't happen like this in Grand Slam finals, that you take off like that first set, little wobble in the second set, but then you dominate in the third again. For me, that match was perfect. I was on top of the world. I think it was my third slam. World number one, showed the world that I was a deserving world number one at what level. And it was against a guy who I respect so much, and hope I see him again soon. But I really struggled early on in my career, and then to end up there, for me, felt like a perfect storm, you know. And I feel like if I look back, I would almost like to play that match again.
the biggest heartbreak on a tennis court?
Probably Wimbledon 2008, just because the way it ended in the darkness with Rafa, there was so much on the line. It needed a winner, and
Yeah.
it went his way, and that was heartbreak, yeah.
Yeah, that was just an amazing rivalry. Now, just one word on the Laver Cup this weekend. I mean, this is the last dance. You know, you put a request in with Bjorn that you want to play doubles,
Yeah.
right? How excited are you about that? You're gonna be super nervous, right? Going in there, and
Yes.
who do you want to play with?
Of course, I'm nervous. People don't think I am, but
course.
I haven't played forever. I hope at my level it's going to be somewhat okay. My God, you know, people probably expect me to play super top normal level, but that's not going to happen. So I really just hope it's going to be somewhat that's okay.
Sure it
I
will
can't
be.
play singles. That's also one of the reasons there was no way I was going to play Basel. For me, it's too much for the body right now. I had to start slowing things down as well once I realized that my career was coming to an end. Of course, I'd love to play with Rafa. We'll see if it's going to happen. We'll speak to Bjorn and Rafa about it.
I think I'll end the video here because the video is already 20 minutes long. But he would like to pair up with Rafa for his last match at Laver Cup. Hopefully it happens, and I think the world will be watching. And Laver Cup has become such a huge money spinner. And no doubt, right? Everybody is there. All legends from the past, current, Novak, Rafa, Andy, everybody. So I hope you tune in. Let me know, are you a Roger Federer fan? If yes, how big of a fan are you? Are you as big fan of Roger Federer as I am? Let me know in the comments.